House Leader for the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, in 2015, 39 first responders and 12 military members have committed suicide across the country. And in 5 short months, 18 first responders and 12 military members have committed suicide, Mr. Speaker. Over 2 years ago, this government committed to striking an all-party committee to examine ways to support first responders with PTSD. Since it looks like the government is not going in this direction or going to do this, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the Minister of Labour and Advanced Education, will the minister commit to bringing forward presumptive WCB coverage for first responders in Nova Scotia?
The Honourable Minister of Labour.
I want to thank the honourable member for the question. We do know that folks living with PTSD do have a difficult time, and that is why in 2014 I did ask the Workers' Compensation Board to begin actually tracking the number of first responders who do make claims under WCB. As the member knows, we did meet on this particular issue. I indicated to him at that time that we were going to start tracking those numbers. What we do see, in fact, Mr. Speaker, is that most PTSD claimants are, in fact, dealt with in a positive way. And I would urge, and we have actually taken some steps, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that people understand what the rules are around PTSD claims for WCB, so that people understand that contrary to what has been out there in the public, that our first responders can receive coverage for multiple incidents, and that, in fact, contrary to what some members have been saying, that the diagnosis does not have to come within the first incident. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Sackville-Cobequid.
Well, what should concern Nova Scotians, Mr. Speaker, is what the minister just said most. The Minister of Labour will say, and she has indicated, that people are eligible for help within a year of being diagnosed. But quite frankly, Mr. Speaker, that's not the issue. Presumptive legislation means that first responders get the support they need sooner rather than later. BC, Alberta, Manitoba already support first responders in this way. New Brunswick and Ontario are currently in the process of doing the same. Nova Scotia now falls behind the rest of the country. So I continue to be met with delays in addressing this serious issue. So I'd like to ask the Premier, given that provinces across Canada are recognizing the need, Mr. Premier, the need for automatic PTSD coverage for first responders, does the Premier agree that the time has come for Nova Scotia to do the same?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the honourable member for the question. My commitment to the minister, to the member, former minister, that I will work with my Minister of Labour and Advanced Education to look at this issue both internally and how it's being dealt with nationally, and we'll get back to him, and I'll get back to him with the appropriate response.